Okay, up next is RB Leipzig versus Liverpool, and this one, the first leg, will be taking place at the Red Bull Arena. I mean, if the previous fixture was a tricky one, this is this is one that I don't even wish to predict. Really and truly, I'm not predicting this one. I'm just gonna give you a brief layout of basically what the teams have done so far this season. Leipzig joined second on 28 points, but third on goal difference. So they are joined second on 28 points with Leverkusen. Right? Very interesting tactical battle between both. Should be a very exciting game. Many thought Leipzig were going to fall off when they lost Werner, but it hasn't been a big loss for them at all. They're still going strong. Joined second in the Bundesliga on 28 points, but third on goal difference. They're joint with Leverkusen on 28 points. They have conceded the least amount of goals in the Bundesliga, 9 goals, and there are many people's favorites to dethrone Bayern Munich. If Bayern Munich were not to win the Bundesliga this year, most people would bet on Leipzig winning it. And they drew 3-3 with Bayern Munich earlier this season. So, and as I said, they have only conceded 9 goals so far this season. 1 loss in the Bundesliga from Borussia Mönchengladbach, a 1-0 loss very early in the season from Borussia Mönchengladbach, a Champions League team as well, a team that qualified for the Champions League from last season. 2 losses in the Champions League so far this season. They came out of a very tough Group H with Paris Saint-Germain, Manchester United and Istanbul. So they had 4 wins and 2 losses amounting to 12 points. So arguably the group of death, this Group H. Very, very, very difficult group. But there are probably many people's favorites to come out of the group. I mean, based on what took place in last season's Champions League, many thought that Paris would have topped the group and then Leipzig would have followed in second place, and it played out in that manner. Both losses in the Champions League coming to Paris, even though they dominated possession in this one, 62% to Paris's 38%. In Paris at the Parc des Princes. So clearly, it's a very good team. They have the capability to dominate possession at the opponent's home ground, even if the opponents are Paris Saint-Germain. So a very good team and a very good coach, Julian Nagelsmann, who really likes to switch up tactics and switch up personnel. I mean, it's a coach that you really cannot study, and that is why this is also such an interesting battle between himself and Jurgen Klopp. Liverpool first in the Premier League, most goals scored in the Premier League, 13th in the league for goals allowed. They have allowed 19 goals so far. However, 7 goals from Aston Villa would have had a big hand to play in those 19 goals. And really and truly, that was a glitch in the matrix. So far, many people were worried earlier on in the season when that happened. But clearly, Liverpool have bounced back. I remember that game, and it was really shambolic defending, to say the least, from Liverpool. They were all over the place, and Aston Villa were excellent on that day as well, and probably should have scored more than 7. 1 loss so far in the Champions League, coming from Atalanta, the second strongest team in the group. Van Dijk didn't play that game, so that's very interesting to note. But it's also very interesting to know that Liverpool didn't register a single shot on target in that game. But this also says that Anfield this season probably won't be as invincible a ground as in previous seasons, because Liverpool fans help Liverpool tremendously, and obviously this season there are no fans in the stand so far this season. But who knows if this is likely to change as the season progresses by the time we get into February. Honestly, the way it's looking in England, it doesn't look like there are going to be fans in Anfield come February. And it's also interesting to note though that this season their 2 losses have come against teams that play free-flowing and attacking football, teams that like to get forward. Aston Villa likes to get forward. Atalanta likes to get forward. Basically against Aston Villa and Atalanta, they're gonna get chances, no doubt about it. So their 2 losses, interestingly, came at teams that like to take it to the opposition. A relatively easy group: Atalanta, Ajax, and Midtjylland. So no surprise that they qualified from the group and topped it. 4 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss, amounting to 13 points. But one of the things that has really interested me with Liverpool this season is that even though they have had a lot of injuries to the likes of Van Dijk, Matip, Keita, Thiago, Jota, Gomez are some of the players that have been out this season at different points in time, they still have managed to keep going and going strong, which really and truly shows their strength in depth, right? So overall, it's a very good team, and more than likely most, if not all of these individuals will be back by February. So it's going to be a very interesting matchup. But Leipzig are the team that Liverpool should be very careful of because of their dynamic play, because of their coach and his dynamic tactics. And as I said, a very interesting matchup between Leipzig and Liverpool. One that I really and truly dare not predict. We at Formula Sports will just sit back and watch how this one plays out come February. But as we have to mention though, a number of things can happen between now and February, and that can have a major impact on what takes place in February. This fixture is almost 2 months away. So, but right now, we're not even going to predict this one. We'll just wait and see how this one plays out.